NANI?! Oh, I guess that was it. The number of requests that I got for this game is really staggering, and honestly it scared the shit out of me. Since a lot of people have stumbled onto my Parappa the Rapper videos, they're very confident in this game, Jammer Lammy being the best in the franchise. So I'm here to put these foolish ambitions to rest, and spend the rest of the video ripping this game to shreds, because come on man, can it really be that good? After finishing this game, it's hard to even put my feelings into words. That's why this video was taking so long, since this is the first time I've really been torn between loving a game and fucking hating it in the same breath. On one hand, the music and story are batshit insane, in a good way.
Now put these kids to sleep, will ya?
And the gameplay is fun, actually, when it works. And when it doesn't,
it's the biggest piece of dog shit.
A mix between responsiveness and unresponsiveness is not a good look for a rhythm game. And sometimes I feel like I'm playing a bad guessing game. But I finally learned how the gameplay is supposed to work. The game wants you to sync your button inputs with the lines of the teacher or instructor of the stage. Like man, how hard of an explanation was that? But the sad thing about it is that sometimes it changes nothing. Perfect timing aside, the unresponsiveness of this game holds it back in my opinion. It's just like the first game where I feel like I'm being punished for playing correctly. And on the other side of the coin, I want to call it a chaotic masterpiece because I feel like it is. When Masaya Matsuda, an artist of the series, Rodney Greenblatt, and team got the green light to make the sequel to Parappa the Rapper, the team decided to make a spin-off game. Instead, not focusing on rap, but rock instead. And I am all for it. I love the idea of the development team switching things up and incorporating a different music genre. And if you've seen my videos before, you'd know that that's something I love to see in rhythm games. And even though it has more of a focus on rock, it's still able to switch things up so the songs don't sound the same. Which leads me to something else that I really enjoy about this game, which is its story. Which is something that I even debated not talking about in this video, since I feel like it's something that you need to experience on your own. These cutscenes are fucking bonkers. It's that weird. But I will be going into it, so if you don't want to be spoiled, go play the game or watch the cutscenes on YouTube. But come back though, I need my watch hours. Jammer Lammy is a story about discovering confidence. You play as Lammy, a teenage sheep that struggles with her confidence in day-to-day life. She plays the guitar in a known band known as Milk Can, with her friends Katy Cat on bass and Masan the mouse on drums. After seeing the newest Jet Baby film, the girls decide to go across the street and pop niggas and go grab food. I'm joking, but not really. And can I just say that Lammy has some of the worst friends? I don't like them because they're really fucking mean to her.
Expect you to do this bad.
Like, fuck you, bitch. Really? Why would you say some shit like that?
The guitar.
Masan, you're just pissed you couldn't see the movie. So you think it's okay to take it out on Lammy because you're insecure about your height. Look at those hands. Great at basketball, but too short to make the team, huh? Maybe something to think about while you sleep tonight. And be a little nicer to your friend who just needs your support. Go fuck yourself. When Lammy gets her guitar, it's like she becomes a different person, beating the shit out of the bullies from the first game. The game starts off with her being late to a gig and rushing to get there, and I really appreciate the nod to the 5th level of the first Parappa the Rapper game.
Well, what should I tell them? I had a stomach ache, so I went to the bathroom, but there was a long line at the gas station. I told them it was an emergency, but they said,
let's rap for it.
Nah.
And speaking of nods, MC Chop Master Onion on the fucking track, boy!
Kick, boom, jaw, So back again, yes, forever. You have many challenges coming at ya. Fast to the fire. Don't retire now, peak.
And after you complete this stage, it's revealed that she was playing with a vacuum cleaner, and Master Onion asks her what she's afraid of, and tells her that the confidence she's looking for is all in her mind, which I think is a really cool message. If you believe in yourself, you can do anything. She doesn't need her guitar, she's a rock star without it. Well, maybe she just needs some lessons on establishing boundaries, and a little bit of time management. A lot of the shenanigans that happen in the story could have been avoided if she just told people to fuck off, like in the next stage. After waking up from a dream, breaking news, she's late again, and has a short amount of time to make it to the show. Running down the street, she sees a building, but it's on fire. She needs to get through, so Chief Puddle has her help put out the fire. And I feel like he would get in trouble for having an untrained civilian help put out the fire, like there are 5 of them just standing around, but whatever. Afterwards, they eat pizza. Because why not? And Chief Puddle gives her a siren, and she realizes she only has 11 minutes left, so takes off but gets fatter from eating pizza. I'm gonna be honest, and this is where the game gets really weird. I'm gonna just let this cutscene play out, just so you see what I mean.
Time for you and me to have a family. With the baby, we should live so happily. Could be a boy or girl, whichever, we don't mind at all. Our newborn treasure shall bring us some love and peace to all. You can give them food, change his diapers. Then you can pay the bills, do the dishes. You can babysit, only if I'm it. What do
Oh my, are you in labor? Well, you don't need to worry anymore. I've been doing this for 50 years, and you're lucky, because today...
What the fuck?
This craziness leads to my favorite song in the game.
Shut up now, he's so sleepy.
Good night, little guys.
Child throwing aside, she gets an item from Kathy Pillar and takes off since only 8 more minutes. Stealing some poor sucker's skateboard, she starts chasing a plane, like where the fuck did that come from? And jumps on. And the captain is getting his fucking lights knocked out daily and is suffering from some kind of brain damage, which is reflected in the stage song. The plane crashes, killing at least 50 people, and the captain gives Lammy his teeth. Like, bro, why would she want that? She realizes she has even less time and takes off again. But shit, she left her guitar on the plane, which leads her going into a guitar shop for a replacement.
Oh, please. I'll do anything. Anything, please.
Which takes us to the next stage of building the replacement guitar with Paul Chuck. God, these names are fucking stupid. Kathy Pillar, Chief Puddle, and Captain... I'm not even gonna try to say that shit. They complete the guitar and Lammy gets sent to the Shadow Realm. Like, this scene is kind of unsettling. After all the craziness ends, she gets slingshot to hell, or Teriyaki Island if you're lame and live in the States, where she needs to play for... oh my god. Teriyaki Yoko. Come on with these names. And to go off on a little tangent, unscripted of course, most of my recording for this game has been this stage. Like a good 20 to 40% is just this fucking stage. God. After completing the stage, Lammy gets challenged to a music battle by her dark self. I wrote Black Lammy, but I'm just gonna say dark self. But tells her to kick rocks as she goes home in a fax machine. And something that confuses me about this story is that I know Lammy was dreaming in the first stage, but the first level feels less like a dream compared to the rest of the game. I feel like I'm on drugs watching it. So after playing stage 6 for almost 40 minutes, the band gets a concert and they start preparing for it, which leads to the final stage. Lammy and friends perform and the game ends. Alright, with the main story out of the way, time to delve into the bonus content, starting with Parappa's story. During the events of the main game, Parappa and PJ are trying to start their own band.
How's this? Wow, that's cool. Can I see it from the side? Hey, that's really nice.
How about this? This is called the Yummy Yummy Beef Stage. You like?
I think it needs to be a little more girl-like.
Like bite-sized beef?
Well, can't we just stay away from beef?
Okay, pork.
And failing horribly every step of the way. I think it's nice to see what him and PJ are up to, and I really enjoy how they remixed the songs for Parappa's story.
Now put these kids to sleep, will ya?
But something that I noticed is that his voice lines sound really muffled. Like, just listen to this. And you can see a significant drop in quality in the cutscenes. Like, what happened? Like, look at this. It looks so, like, low quality compared to everything else we've seen so far. The only thing I don't like about Parappa's story is, like, these cut-ins with Joe Chin's commercials. They don't really add to what's going on. I kind of just feel like they're here to fill up space. And the same with Masan beating the shit out of her computer later on. The battle mode was fun and slightly bullshit, but check this out. And don't even get me started when you go up against Parappa. It's like musical whiplash. Overall, I like this game, and like I said earlier, I recommend it for the story and music alone. I think it's that good. It had me hooked to see what crazy shit would happen next. And if the series were to continue, I would want it to follow this game's footsteps. But the gameplay completely ruins it for me. I enjoyed Jammer Lammy out of all of the games in the franchise, but the gameplay hasn't aged very well, and it's even frustrating at times. When I finally felt like I was getting the hang of things and was actually enjoying myself, in comes the bullshit. To start missing notes and completely fail the stage when I know I shouldn't have is bullshit. And I understand that these games were some of the first rhythm games, but I don't think that's a valid excuse, and I don't understand how people can defend something that's so unresponsive. Like, imagine if Guitar Hero of all games had it so that you need to time your button inputs to the song you're playing, right? But the catch is that you have to wait until the controller vibrates and sync it with the person singing in order to clear the notes to get points. You do just that, and uh-oh, you press the button, you don't get those points. So you try again and again, and keep failing. You say fuck it and start mashing buttons. When you do this, you do well and clear the song. To you watching this video, does that sound fun? To play a fucking guessing game in a rhythm game. Would Guitar Hero have gone out and sold millions of copies and become a household name in the rhythm genre if they followed the same gameplay plan as Parappa the Rapper and Jammer Lammy? I'll give you a second to answer. Okay, you got your answer? Cool. If you say yes, you are a fucking liar. That shit would have flopped and you know it. But these games sold well at the time. So that automatically makes it good no matter what. Like, what a stupid ass take. It's almost like you can't criticize Pong because it was one of the first video games. Be real. You're not playing Pong for longer than 2 minutes if you boot it up right now. You're full of shit. Shut the fuck up. Like, it's crazy how the nostalgia goggles for some people are on so fucking tight that they're cutting off circulation and brain function. But it sucks because it only feels unresponsive like 50% of the time. But if you grew up and went to school in the States like I did, you would know that 50% is still a failing grade. Would you pay for a car off of the dealership that only works half of the time? Or would you go to the pet store and buy half a pet? Okay, that's a little morbid, but I think you get my point. I know a lot of people stumble onto my channel and see my first Parappa the Rapper video and assume I hate the game, franchise, and everyone that plays it. When I only hate the gameplay. I love this goofy motherfucker. Music, characters, and this wacky ass world. But if you don't like the core gameplay, it kind of ruins it. If the gameplay was just slightly tweaked, it would easily become one of my favorite rhythm games of all time. And that's why I believe these games, Parappa the Rapper 1 and Jammer Lammy, need some kind of remake. And no, not like the dog shit remaster we got in 2017. I'm shutting that shit down right now. I'm talking about a total rework of the gameplay. And as much as I don't like the original gameplay, I think it can be good, but needs some serious work and playtesting. Nowadays, since every IP ever is getting some kind of remake, why not the Parappa the Rapper series? But I really want to stress the point that something needs to change. This series already died once, and there's a possibility that it could return one day. But if something doesn't change and it makes the same mistake as these 3 games, it's going to fail again. And I, for one, don't want that to happen. Because by the time Parappa the Rapper 2 came out, the series did make changes to the gameplay, and it was too late. The series was essentially dead. But it's time to face reality. It probably won't happen, even if the remakes go above and beyond and avoid chasing nostalgia and bare minimum effort like the Parappa the Rapper remaster. I don't think Sony's interested in making that happen, because if your game isn't pulling Spider-Man numbers, they aren't going to care. And from a business standpoint, it makes sense. Why waste resources on making something that only a small amount of people will actually buy? I hope to God I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm wrong, but I know better. But maybe it's for the best that it doesn't happen. Better to have the series die with dignity and respect than it to become a soulless cash grab, filled with microtransactions and useless pre-order bonuses. Where's my corporate greed? I can't enjoy a new video game without my corporate greed. It's fucking depressing. Jammer Lammy is a game that I can say with confidence I love and appreciate, even though the gameplay makes my fucking skin crawl. So what's next? I also found out earlier this year that Parappa the Rapper has an anime, but I'll probably cover that at like 100 subscribers, or if people really ask me to. So I'm sure it'll happen at some point, but I give you my word, it will happen. So if you want to see that sooner rather than later, subscribe, and hell, tell a friend to subscribe. If you take away anything from this video, anything at all, buy this game and as many games as possible from the PS3 store before it's gone forever. I'm not fucking kidding. That shit will not be here forever. We need to take advantage. Please listen to me. We need to take advantage of this and buy as much shit as possible because that shit's gonna be gone and they're not gonna bring it back because Sony's fucking terrible at doing that. Come on, man. We gotta do this. Please, 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 please.